So, where have I been and what's happened to my face? All of this and more will be answered in FAQ number 4. Hey guys, this is Rob from ChainsawGuitarTuition.net, and I should probably first explain what's going on. I've been basically challenged, if you call it a challenge, to grow this out for a month, so I'm kind of halfway through that at the moment. So if I look a bit like a tramp or something like that, then that's why. I probably will shave it in January, depending on what happens. Secondly, where have I been? Well, I've been working on a video course that goes along with my book that you may have purchased or heard about, the Awesome Lead Guitar 1 ebook. We've now got it in video form. I'll do more on that next week, so watch out for a video next week explaining more about that. But that's why I've not been making videos as regularly as normal. So I'm still getting comments about how I look like people, and that's probably never going to change. I didn't realise I looked like all these people, but there you go. You look like Varg, and you look hotter than a church in Norway. You look like Vikernes. I actually have no idea how to pronounce his name, as I've only ever seen it written down. But I'm assuming he pronounces all the letters because he's Norwegian, not Danish or English. Also, I should probably point out that I'm not into burning churches. Even though I look like a guy who is, I just think it's horrific and wrong to burn someone or a building because of what they believe in. Just putting that out there, I think that's wrong. Does anyone know of a program where you can play the lead on guitar and the software converts it to tab? I don't actually know of a program that does this specifically, but if you can already play the part on guitar, why do you need it tabbed out? I mean, there are some programs where you can put, or devices where you can plug a guitar in and it comes out of a MIDI signal, and that's probably the sort of thing you're looking for. I'm not an expert on all gear in the world, so just know that sort of thing can exist if that's what you're looking for. I don't think it's perfect though, but it does exist. Is there any way to get a song that's not already converted to guitar tabs on Guitar Pro? I think if you have a file that's power tab, you can convert that into Guitar Pro. For the text-based, like the internet text-based tabs, I don't think there's a specific program that converts it. You might just have to do that yourself by typing in the numbers the old-fashioned way. But if you've already got the tab, why do you need to specifically convert it to Guitar Pro? Surely you can just use the tab. I don't really know your reasoning behind that, but yeah, you can if it's power tab form. Sweet, nobody ever goes over fretting hands beside the thumb, but I have a problem with alternate picking where I can do it easily with my picking hand and my legato is fine, but when I put them together I have problems controlling it, where a straight run is easy, but if it's just one note on, say, the B string and 5 notes on the high E, my hands get all out of whack all of a sudden. First of all, I saw this one in the comments and realised I hadn't actually replied, so I'm sorry for not replying to this comment if you're watching. Secondly, it sounds like you've got a problem with synchronisation, obviously. So if your legato's fine, that means your fretting hand is strong and fast and it can do the things you want, and your picking seems fine. What I suggest you do, and this is probably going to seem obvious once I say it, but you need to practice playing slowly and then speeding up with a metronome. And I know that sounds like the thing that I say every single time, but hear me out on this. If you're already coordinated at a slow speed and then try and jump to a quick speed, and that's when it all goes out of sync, there's somewhere in the middle, there's a point where it's losing sync. So what I would do is try and find that point by going through different speeds and then working on that level and that, calling that your level and saying, okay, I'm going to do, say it was 120 beats per minute. And you're saying, okay, that's the speed that I can definitely do clean. And then say 125, it starts to mess up. So what I suggest doing is working around that speed area and trying to get through that barrier. Because what it sounds like you're saying is you're trying to play at 130, 140, when really the cleanest the fastest clean speed you can do is 120. So it sounds like you're trying to play faster than you can actually keep up with. Because synchronization is really to do with your brain that's controlling your hands, if your hands can do those speeds separately. Or, as someone has already answered on this comment, if you're still looking for an answer, I suggest you look up economy picking. It mixes alternate picking with sweep picking, enabling you to play stuff that would mostly be impossible otherwise. Yes, you can use economy picking to play faster, but I would kind of warn against it, using it just as a way to play faster, because what you should really be interested in, I think, is the sound. So economy picking and alternate picking don't sound the same. They sound slightly different. So economy picking will sound slightly smoother, more fluid, more legato, whereas alternate picking has that more choppier, more mechanical kind of sound. So just be aware that the sound will be different, and if you want the alternate picking sound, you're going to need to do it with alternate picking. Will lowering the action help? I find my finger stuck in between the strings at the 15th fret because the string is a bit high and I can't take it off to play another note. Well, this is actually a comment on my reasons you can't play guitar fast video. And yes, lowering the action on a guitar does definitely help. Having your guitar set up well obviously lends itself towards better performance. So there is that to consider. It's not a solution to everything, but if you're getting your fingers actually trapped in between the strings or underneath the strings, then that says to me, yeah, your action is too high. Is there any risk of snapping the strings if you bend the string too far? This is a comment on my whammy bar techniques video. And yes, there is a danger that you break the strings if your strings are old or if they're particularly well worn. Or if you're doing really extreme stuff all the time, like constantly going on the whammy bar and constantly attacking the guitar or lifting the guitar up by the whammy bar and all this kind of stuff, then yeah, you're likely to break strings. But I wouldn't be worried if you're just doing the normal dive bomb or pinch harmonic-y kind of stuff, harmonics going woo and all that kind of stuff. Then no, you're not really going to break strings if you've got a new pair of strings or a fresh pair of strings, which you should always have. Do you teach how to shred? And I mean, like, if you know which notes or scales do you use when you shred, and how do you make the melody come out? Well, this depends what you mean by shred. I do teach guitar, and I teach people how to play solos. People's definition of shred actually varies. So some people will say like one guitarist shreds, and other people would say no, this other guitarist shreds. I mean, does Slash shred? Does Yngwie Malmsteen shred? Okay, that one was a bit silly. He does actually shred, of course. Does Zakk Wylde shred? I mean, these are all completely different guitarists, and different people are going to have different opinions. Having said that, as I said, I do teach guitar, and I do teach lead guitar. The course is coming out next week, probably, where I'm going to be talking about lead guitar. And I do intend on doing some more advanced stuff. Let me know in the comments if you'll be interested in more advanced lead guitar stuff. What do you use, mate? Compressor or sustain? Well, first of all, I don't hardly use anything in my videos. I've just got an amp and I put the guitar through it. That's my normal setup. I do sometimes, if I'm recording something that I want to sound extra good, I'll use an effect system that I've got in my computer. So I'm literally plugging into my computer. I sometimes go through effects like pedals first and the computer's an amp sim. If you would like me to do a video on how that kind of works, because it's a great thing if you want to record different sounds of guitar but you don't have the budget or the space for like tons of amps, then let me know if that interests you, if I'm to explain that. But no, I don't use any particular effects in my videos. So I hope that answers your questions. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments. If you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe. You can also visit my website, chainsawguitartuition.net, for information on how to get in touch for one-on-one lessons through Skype or webcam. Also, if you would like to help this channel, you can donate as little as $1 a month, through Patreon, which is linked down there, which is really nothing, $1 a month, and it will really help out this channel and help me to grow the channel, etc. And until then, I'll see you next time. Hey guys, this is Rob from ChainSecretsHeart.net. Now, I'm probably going to upset a few people in this video. That's not what my intentions are. I've been told over the years, oh, guitar teachers should do this, guitar teachers should do this, should do that, and some of these things are correct, some of them are just not wrong. And I'm here to tell you from experience what makes a good teacher and what you should be looking for in a